Some would say that I have the hardest hill to climb when reviewing this movie. Finding something nice to say about the live action Snow White movie. Well, I eat the impossible for breakfast. Okay, I know that intro was a bit cheesy, but it is true. I am going to talk about a lot of positives and a bit of negatives from this movie. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strunk from QuickTime Reactions, and I just got out of seeing Disney's latest attempt in, let's remake our classics to try and make some money edition. Um, this time, it is Snow White. This one, of course, stars Rachel Zelger and Gal Gadot as our two main characters, Snow White and the Evil Queen, and is the retelling of Disney's classic. In fact, it is their first animated film all the way back in 1937. So this puppy is almost 90 years old. So you could say that it could use a remake. Um, but, I think most people would say let it be. But hey, Nosferatu got a remake 100 years after it was made. So who knows? Let's see what happens. Um, my thoughts on the concept in general of Disney live action remakes. I don't hate the idea unless like if you have a good story behind it. But for the most part, they've been okay. Like I've not been overly mad at them. I've not been like overly happy with them. They've just been fine. Now there are standouts among the rest. Like for me, I love Cruella. Cruella is one of my favorite. In fact, it is my favorite of their live action movies that they've made. I would say up there with Beauty and the Beast. I really loved the live action Beauty and the Beast. And I would also say the Maleficent movies I thought were also really good as well. Um, I guess for me, towards the bottom end of the spectrum would probably be like Lion King and maybe Mulan as well. Not to say that I hate those movies. I actually quite enjoyed Mulan. The live action Lion King, I was like, it's fine, but I didn't necessarily see the point of remaking a classic. And then, of course, you have the ones that are in the middle, like Lion King, Jungle Book, um, and all the other ones that they've made. And now we have this one. Now, this one was dealt a bit of hand to controversy because of what Rachel Zelger had said before the movie had even come out, and the internet had given this the seal of screw this movie and screw her, essentially. But I absolutely love Rachel Zelger. I loved her in Y2K. I loved her in Songbirds and Snakes when she played Lucy Gray. And although I have not seen it, I've heard she's really good in West Side Story, the new West Side Story that Steven Spielberg made. So I haven't gotten the chance to see that, but I heard she was really good in it. And of course, Gal Gadot, she's awesome as Wonder Woman, and of course, she's also in the Fast and Furious franchise as well. So it's like, you know, she's awesome in almost everything that she's in. And now we have this movie. And I've heard a lot of things about this movie. I've heard some good things, a lot more bad things. The Rotten Tomatoes score that I last saw was right down the middle. It was split, leaning more towards a negative. It was at a 44%. But I have to go against the grain of the internet. I actually had fun watching this movie. And that is no lie. I had fun. Now, I'm just going to go out there and say, is it their best live action movie that they made? No. Is it their worst? No. It's one of those that are right in the middle. It's fine. I can understand some of the criticisms, but at the same time, I had an absolute smile on my face in the theater watching this movie. I had a fun time. I was never bored, and I had fun. I had fun watching it. I'm sorry. That's just me. Um, our two leads, Rachel Zelger and Gal Gadot. Rachel Zelger was pretty good. I knew she could sing really well from Songbirds and Snakes when she was Lucy Gray, and she didn't disappoint here. And Gal Gadot, she looked so good in those Evil Queen costumes. She was, ooh, she looked so good, and she was also really good acting wise as well. Really laying on the evilness in her role. The songs, I thought they did a really good job of expanding on some of the songs that were already in the original, like Hi Ho and Whistle While You Work. In fact, Whistle While You Work was the song that was like, it won me over, and I had a smile on my face whistling along to them, dancing and, cleaning up the house and all that stuff. I just had a fun time with Whistle While You Work. I would say the one song that might, and I say might nab them an Oscar nomination is probably Waiting on a Wish, which is the song like early on in the film that Rachel Zelger sings. And I think they posted a clip of that on the Disney Studios YouTube page. And I heard and I listened to it, or didn't listen to it. I listened to the song in the movie, and that was pretty good. The villain song, which I'm going to call Fairest of Them All. It's probably not the title of it, but that's what I'm calling it. I thought that was pretty good. I'm a sucker for villain songs, and I thought that was a pretty solid villain song. Princess Problems, Jonathan's song, I thought that was also really solid as well. I have to give a special shout out to the choreography. Choreography was done by Mandy Moore. I don't know if it is the same Mandy Moore that voices Rapunzel in the Tangled film, but I assume it is. I thought she did a really good job of choreographing out all of the dances, especially with like the first big number that happens in the film, which is like a minute and a half into the film. Um, and also, I love the fact that they were able to pull certain imagery from the original film, like the scary trees and the poison apple look with like the sludge dripping down to make the skull. I thought they did a really good job of kind of making that into live action. I thought that was really cool. I also loved the reference to the Diamond Mine Train, the ride at Magic Kingdom, where you see the dwarves riding on the tracks inside the mine. I thought that was a really nice touch as well. Um, I have to give a special shout out to the director of this, which is Mark Webb. Yes, that Mark Webb, the Mark Webb that made both of the Amazing Spider-Man films. I thought he did a pretty good job with this. Um, nice. It was really crisp and clear. a lot of bright imagery compared to like the original animated film, which this may be from a youth brain, but from what I remember is kind of like not necessarily dull. Like there is color in there, but I guess it's the old school animation that makes it look dull. But this was like, bright and colorful and stuff. So yeah, I would say like the actors did a really good job. Songs were really good. Choreo was really good. The direction was really good. Like, yeah, I can like the one criticism that I will agree on is the dwarves looked a bit weird, but I got used to it as the film went on. Um, like the only one that was like the one thing that was rattling my brain throughout the whole movie was like the one dwarf that looks somewhat normal is Dopey. Like, okay. So that was rattling around in my brain as the movie was going along. But, sometimes, like, just go back to the classic designs. I wouldn't have minded if, like, the dwarves had the classic, like, big Disney eyes and, like, just a bit cartoony, just a little bit. But that would have taken away from, being live action, even though they were CG. But that's just a little minor nitpick. But, the characters were really good. Acting was really good. Choreo was really good. Music was also really good. The direction was pretty good. Like, I had a fun time with it. I don't see what, everyone is complaining about, at least in my eyes anyway. But yeah, if you got little ones that, want to go see this, or if you had a curiosity, or if you just don't care about the negativity, I would definitely recommend seeing this. I had a fun time, but that's just my opinion, a vast amongst a sea of other opinions on the internet. So, you know, what do I know? But hey ho. Eh. But, that is my review of the live action Snow White. And next week is going to be very interesting because next week will be Woman in the Yard and Death of a Unicorn, which is a complete 180 from the movies that I reviewed tonight. But until then, guys, I'll catch you later.